Hey all, welcome back to my Autism My Voice. For this episode, I need to talk about the schools. I need to talk about the fact that a lot of schools today are getting really noticed on the news, are getting noticed for all these reasons, and they're getting noticed because a lot of teachers are missing out on a lot of things, in regards to our children who have autism and individuals with autism altogether. Now, this hits home for me in many instances because when I was growing up, when I was in fourth grade, there's a lot of situations going on in my school life that I thought, looking today, were ridiculous, that I really didn't understand at the time. And now that I understand them more now, I can never see myself being put into those situations. And I can never see in the future, if I ever have kids, them being put in those situations. And three situations I want to throw out right off the bat, which are ridiculous. And never understood why anyone never really found out about them, or my teachers weren't monitoring them, or how they just slipped through the cracks. But three things which I noticed right off the bat. When I was in fourth grade, I was in a math class where I was getting really good grades. I was getting like hundreds, 98s, A's, A minuses, and that was basically my my deal. And I didn't have a lot of friends in fourth grade. And in public school, I really didn't have. I had a close amount of friends, but I didn't have a wide amount of friends. And I noticed right away that once I started getting good grades in my first few classes in math in fourth grade, there was just a huge discrepancy of kids coming up to me, talking to me, and saying, "Hey, wow, you're really good at math. I would really love to hang out with you sometime." Being like 9 years old, not being able to analyze that some of these kids might not actually want to be friends with you, but actually might want to really go for your ability to do math, was something couldn't even consider. It was just not something. I was very gullible when I was a kid. I just didn't understand things. And kids would copy my grade, copy my exams, and that would be it. And they would basically throw me to the side when I was in a situation where, oh, reading class comes along, oh, another class comes along. That I couldn't help them with that because my grades weren't as high in those classes, so maybe that meant that they didn't have to be there. So that was one instance. Another instance which I hated in school, in my special ed setting, was when the whole situation where public schools, some schools don't have stalls in the bathrooms, some schools, and for instance, for me, I would have to communicate with my professor, my teacher, and ask to take toilet paper into the bathroom because I went to such a school where kids weren't even allowed to have toilet paper in the bathrooms. And it's like, what are we doing here? Me as a 9-year old with autism having to basically ask my teacher in front of all of my classmates, pretty much, oh, I need toilet paper. So I need toilet paper to go to the bathroom. And then I would have kids laughing at me, basically saying, oh, wow, Kerry, I wonder what you're. The whole reasons for that. And I would get laughed, I would get ridiculed. And it's such an awkward situation that you have to go through all these situations when you're in school and you can't focus on trying to just pass your classes, just trying to go through your treatments, because every situation becomes more and more than it ever has to be. And 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 then finally the third situation, which I really didn't understand, it's actually a two-part situation. I was told by kids, like I said in the beginning, I was very, very gullible. The N word was mentioned to me by one individual, and unfortunately, that guy was one of the biggest bullies I knew in my classes, and he told me that the N word was a sign of respect, that you should call everyone. And that got me into a lot of trouble, to be perfectly honest. And teachers heard that I said that word and were very, very upset, very like, Kerry, how could you say that? And when I would tell them that this person told me to say that, they thought I was joking. They thought that I had to know what it was, but I was 9 and very, very gullible. And even at that, the teacher should not react that way. And then another situation which happened was one of my uh, one of my peers also said that if I put my middle finger up in the air, it's basically the same expression as saying hi to someone. And so I would say hi, and they said, "Hey, Kerry, why don't you say hi to the teacher like that?" And okay, I did that, and my teacher got very, very upset at me with my middle finger up in the air, basically saying, "Hi, teacher," and not really that's how the situation's going. I wasn't trying to do that at all, and it just ended up badly. And none of the teachers ever considered the fact that I could have been bullied into this, I could have been situated into this, and there was no monitoring of all these situations going on. This is not acceptable in schools. I know this can't be monitored in many instances, but there is a lot of negativity going on. I feel like we need to focus on a certain balance in our school systems of yes, okay, there are these situations going on and they need to be monitored. I'm not sure specifically how we're going to monitor these situations. It's just something we really need to go to the drawing board and really try to figure out. Also, at the same time, we also need to promote the good things that are going on in our school systems because we have so much negative media going on. There's so much social media telling us okay, there's this aide doing this. There's this aide putting a kid in the duffel bag. There's this aide that's telling an autistic kid to shut up, and it's unacceptable. But at the same time, there are also positive stories going on that need to be highlighted because if we surround ourselves with negativity, then we're going to end up being negative. It's, for example, when I'm here at Seton Hall University, which is my school, if if a bunch of people on Facebook are saying, oh, okay, I'm really not happy with my grades, I really hate the food here, then it's going to trend. And when it trends, you never know who's going to pick up and feel those negative reactions also and then start building on that. So we need to have a good balance between making sure these stories are known but also at the same time acknowledging the positive things that are happening too. I'm not trying to pity anyone. I'm just trying to say there needs to be a balance and we need to really make sure that things like this don't happen. We need to monitor in schools to the best of our abilities, make sure that these situations don't happen for the future, and hopefully you guys feel the same. So thanks guys for listening. I know this was one of the longer videos, but I think it was very important to really get that out there, and hopefully you guys don't have to go through the same things in the future, and hopefully we can start this for a better day. So thanks guys.